Good afternoon, everyone, and we have shareholders from all over the world, and we're happy that many will be joining us today in our virtual celebration. We apologize to everyone because we're not able to join you in Anchorage or Seattle or Juneau like in other communities like we have before, but we're going to do the best we can to make sure you get a Sealaska holiday greetings from the board of directors, the administration, and the staff. I want to send you greetings from Angoon, Alaska. If you can see behind me, or if you can, we're snowed in. Really pretty out today. I want to give you an overview of the agenda. We have the behind the scenes look from Barnacle Seafoods, an overview of 220 highlights. We have 3 families who will join us to give us a language lesson in Tlingit, Haida, and Tsimshian. We'll have shareholder relations will share new features out on mysealaska.com. And finally, we're going to have $25,000 in prizes for this holiday season to all of you who are logged on. I mean, we want everybody to be logged on, but whoever does get logged on, we're going to make sure that you participate in this award holiday giving. Our board of directors is pleased to bring this to you, and on behalf of our board of directors and our chairperson, Mr. Joseph Nelson, our vice chair, Jody Mitchell, and our president, Anthony Mallott, I want to welcome all of you to our virtual holiday celebration. So with that, I'm going to turn this next portion over to Tate London, and he's going to step in and do the next portion of our agenda. Tate.
Thank you, Albert. And I hope you all can hear me. My name is Tate London. My Tlingit name is Hain. I'm from Ketchikan, Alaska, living in Seattle. I'm Raven Dog Salmon. My family's originally from Angoon. And I want to welcome you all, share this. This is kind of an odd year and an odd way for us, but we're a community, we're family, and we want to share with you, although we cannot gather together, this is the next best thing. So from me and my family and my extended family, we wish you all season's greetings and happiness with the family that you're able to come together with. Today, we'd like to introduce Barnacle Foods via a video broadcast. Barnacle Foods is the first food business to create products with bull kelp, including salsa, pickles, and seasoning, which celebrate local ingredients and invite customers into what makes Alaska magical. In 2016, founder Leah Heifetz and Matt Kern won the Path to Prosperity business competition run by Spruce Root, the Southeast Alaska Community Development Organization that launched in 2012 with seed money from Sealaska. In April of this year, Sealaska formed a partnership with Barnacle Foods to continue to build a business portfolio that aligns with the twin goals of economic prosperity. Sealaska's investment will enable Barnacle to grow, expand its impact, and its founders hope ultimately become a household name and staple in pantries and kitchens everywhere. And I can tell you, I have sampled these products. Sampling's an understatement. They're excellent. We've gobbled them up. And all these products while cherishing Southeast Alaska's beauty and bounty and improving health for people and the planet. Just 6 months after this partnership was formed, Sealaska announced an unprecedented alliance with New England Seafood International, Nessie, a respected London-based supplier of fresh and frozen premium sustainable fish and seafood to retailers and leading food service brands. This partnership of 2 market leaders from different corners of the world creates an international business that builds on shared, long-standing commitments to fostering a thriving planet. We are proud of our demonstrated commitment to ocean health and excited to continue to deliver on our promise of becoming a global leader in sustainable business practices. I'm pleased to introduce Barnacle Foods for a virtual behind-the-scenes look at how we're working together to set a positive trajectory for our people and planet. Gunischish, Hawa, and I turn it over to Barnacle.
Hi, I'm Matt, and this is Leah, and we are the founders of Barnacle Foods. We share the foods and flavors of Alaska's coast with people all around the world, and our goal is to do that in a way that's good for the environment, good for our communities, and makes a positive impact in the economies that we're a part of.
We are excited and committed to creating a business that brings value to the communities of our region, and we really want to plant the value of the ingredients that we're harvesting, like kelp and berries and spruce tips, with the people who live here. The primary ingredient that we use is bull kelp, and we source bull kelp from wild kelp beds, and we also are partnering with kelp farmers around the state.
For us, kelp is something that we can share from our region that's unique to the Alaskan coast and bring it to people in foods that they enjoy every day.
Kelp is the future of food. Not only is it incredibly savory and delicious, it's packed with all sorts of vitamins and minerals, and it's super renewable, which is one of the reasons that we're really excited about using it in our foods. When it grows in the wild, it can grow up to 10 inches per day. And on kelp farms, which are just starting in Alaska, it can be a great tool to actually improve ocean health.
Kelp grows incredibly fast, and while it's growing, it absorbs what's around it in the ocean. So it concentrates nutrients and diverse minerals from the ocean, and it pulls carbon out of the water to build its structure, which is vast and enormous. It's a forest. And so by planting it on farms and sustainably harvesting from wild kelp beds, we're using kelp as a tool to pull the carbon out of the ocean and concentrate it. And then by harvesting it, we're removing the carbon out of the ocean, which can buffer ocean acidification on a small scale. And as our demand and the number of kelp farms around Alaska increases, we can actually have an impact on our oceans that will grow over time.
So heading out on the water and harvesting is one of my favorite parts of the job, and we always like to share this experience with other members of our team. When we go out and harvest, we go anywhere from an hour boat ride to a full day's ride from Juneau. And it's really important that the weather is calm when we're harvesting the kelp, because each piece is harvested by hand and it requires leaning over the side of the boat. We pull up to a kelp bed, usually at low tide, and each piece of kelp is lifted up, picked by hand and cut off. And when we're harvesting from a kelp bed, we're really making sure that the health of the kelp bed and the wildlife that depends on that kelp bed is taking priority. So we only visit a kelp bed once per season, and we make sure to spread out our harvest so that year after year the kelp beds can continue to exist and be healthy. So we lean over the boat, we pick up a piece of kelp, we bring it on board, and then we usually sort it into the stipe and the fronds. And the stipe, which is like the stem of the bull kelp, is what we use in our pickles and our salsa and our hot sauce. And the fronds, which is the leafy part of the bull kelp that floats on the surface, is sorted, and that's dried, and that's what we make our kelp seasonings out of.
We have a team that varies with the seasons. Our busiest time of year is in the summer, when the fresh kelp is being harvested and brought back to the kitchen. We'll have anywhere from 10 to 12 people working on the line, and our focus during this time of year is pickle making. Pickles must be made from the fresh kelp, and you want to keep them crispy, and there's a lot of particular processes that involve all hands on deck. So we have just a facility bursting at the seams, full of people packing pickles into jars, dipping them into the hot water bath, pulling them out, spraying them down, cooling them, transporting them to the labeling side. The pickling season is about 2 months, and it's hot in the kitchen. Everyone's working hard, And in the fall, we transition towards production of a lot of other products like salsas and jams and jellies and hot sauce, which we can make from the frozen kelp. And we'll get ahead on pulling them out, spraying them down, cooling. Busy holiday season, and now everyone's packing orders and putting jars into nice gift boxes that we share with people all over the country.
One of the more rewarding aspects of running Barnacle Foods and being rooted in our communities here in Alaska is the team that we get to build. And over the last couple of years, we've partnered with Tlingit and Haida on their youth employment program and have been able to bring in some young people to work with us. And we hope that this experience inspires them to really stay in our communities and invest in a future here that can be good for the people that live here and the oceans and the coast that we all appreciate so much. We are invested in investing in young people and people who are interested in the future of our communities and the people who live in Alaska. And we've been able to do this in a variety of ways, but one of the more rewarding ways is to bring young people onto our team and provide this framework for people to be involved in a business that's growing and that wants to grow in a really thoughtful way that can have positive impacts on things that we all appreciate.
On top of making these really delicious products, what's really exciting about them is they're made from a primary ingredient of kelp. And working with kelp and the growing mariculture industry in Alaska has potential to have positive impacts on our oceans, on our communities, and the economy. And Barnacle has become a leader in this emerging industry across the country. And there's a growing awareness that by eating more kelp, we can sequester carbon from the oceans and we can combat climate change in a tangible way. And so as our business grows and the bigger scale and the more kelp farms we work with, the better environmental impact we can have on our local oceans. And as that awareness spreads, so can the positive impact that we have globally. And that's what's really exciting to us about this business, and what's also giving us a lot of attention outside of Alaska and why people are paying attention to what we're doing. And so our goal is to connect people to the oceans and help them realize that they can make a positive impact based on the foods they eat.
By eating kelp, you can have a positive impact on your oceans. We are honored to partner with Sealaska, and as we look to the future, we look back and are so grateful that for thousands of years this land and the oceans have been stewarded by the Tlingit and the Haida and the Tsimshian people that have lived here long before us.
Like a barnacle, we're rooted in this wonderful place between the land and the sea with a foot in each world. And we feel incredibly fortunate to call this place our home and want to make the most of what we have here. We love working with food as our products because they're fun, they're delicious, they bring people joy, they bring people together, and we've always loved sharing foods. And our foods also connect us to the traditions in Alaska of putting up food seasonally. And we like to think of our products as little treasures of the summer sun, and we aim to preserve them at their peak flavor and quality so that in the winter when it's dark and cold, you can pop that jar and it's just like tasting the sunshine from the Alaskan summer.
One of our favorite ways to eat kelp is paired with salmon. And today we're gonna do just that. Here we go. We'll start with the salmon. This is some smoked coho that we caught here in Juneau. We'll break it up to start with. This will make it easier to mix in all the other ingredients. Next comes the cream cheese. A little bit of Dijon mustard. That has a nice kind of tangy flavor. Mix that up. Next we'll go with some onions. We'll chop those up really fine. That adds some nice texture to the salmon dip and a little crunch. Red bell peppers are nice to use. They add a little splash of color and also that fresh kind of crunchy flavor. Some green onions add a nice zing, a little spice. Some fresh garlic, that's really important. And next, the kelp pickles. The kelp pickles add a really nice savory flavor, and the flavor of the kelp pickles really complements the smoky savoriness of the salmon. Now we'll mix in all the veggies. So we've got our pickles, the onions, garlic, peppers, anything else that you like to add to your salmon dip. It'd be a good time to add it. A little bit of pickle brine kind of binds it all together, and it's almost ready. A little bit of fresh dill if you can find some. We'll add a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper to taste if you'd like, and mix that up. And here we go, the most important. Slather some of that salmon dip on a piece of sailor bread. Top with some kelp pickles, a little bit of everything seasoning, which adds a nice garlicky, salty flavor, a little bit of crunch. Some fresh dill. You're ready to roll. We'd love to see what you create this holiday season. Check us out online at barnaclefoods.com or on Facebook or Instagram at Barnacle Foods. Show us your salmon dip.
I don't know about you guys, but my mouth is watering. That looks very delicious. My family has loved especially the pickles, the kelp pickles. If you want to order some of these products, and that's not what this meeting is about, it was just really for information for you all, but if you're curious and want to try it, go to barnaclefoods.com and you can order some of the yummy food they have there. My name is Jody Mitchell, and I'm the vice chair of the Sealaska board. In my day job, I serve as the CEO of Inside Passage Electric Cooperative. And I've been on the board since 2006. I'm also the chair of the audit committee. So we deal with the numbers, and I will attempt to introduce myself in Tlingit. Here we go. Tlingit kenach sechtin yuchat duasak. Deshitan ayachat, angun kwan ayachat. I've just said my name is Sechtin in Tlingit, and I am from the Deshitan clan, Raven of Angoon. And now, next, my job, I have one of the easy jobs. I get to introduce Anthony Mallott, our CEO, and he's going to give an update on the 2020 highlights. Even though it's been a very bad year for most businesses, or a lot of businesses, Sealaska has actually thrived throughout this year financially, and so I'll let Anthony tell you all about it. So, Anthony.
Thank you, Jody. I think my video.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Sorry, I forgot to say Merry Christmas.
The most important message for today, that's for sure. And thank you, Jody. You know, I really would have liked, as we all would, to have been able to meet like we usually do at our holiday gatherings. I think we all know that we're so longing for our connections, to see our friends and our family. And one of my absolute favorite things is to walk among the tables and see all the young families that show up at our holiday events. It's really nice to see. There's a lot of camaraderie. There's a lot of good feelings, and that's really what we're trying to do today. Is take the great feelings that we know we have when we collect, whether it be at celebration or at holiday events, or even at our annual meeting when you're able to visit friends. We just haven't had that this year. So really really trying to recreate it, knowing that we're not going to hit the mark completely. But if we just share a little bit of joy, a little bit of information, and a little bit of connectedness with you, I think we will have done all right. So I'm going to share a presentation, and I think I have it going. And so my name is Anthony Mallott. Ganak Yuchat Duasak, Tsagwedi Ayachat. My Tlingit name is Ganak. I'm Tsagwedi, eagle killer whale. I'm from Yakutat, Alaska. So thank you to my communications team for putting this picture up. I'm Kwashkekwan Yeti, a child of the Kwashkekwan from New Hit Fort House, who claim St. Elias as one of their crests. So really nice to see this picture. I'll start kind of with similar sentiments to what we've heard today. We all know it's been a tough year. We all know that some have done well and some are hurting. And no matter if you've done well or not, you've had to adapt. You've had to make tough decisions. You've had to figure out a new reality, like this virtual meeting that we're going through right now. And one thing that we find most important about following values, and it's the number one key to the financial success that we have created over the last few years, is that if you practice your values on a daily basis, success builds up consistently. But when values really come in handy is when things are negative, when things are bad, when things are tough, you're forced with hard decisions. In those moments, that is where values really come into play. And you never know when that's going to happen. I trust that so many of you have had to make those hard decisions this year. And I hope that you were able to rely on your family values, your cultural values, and in that moment, make a decision that was just the best decision at that moment in time. That's what Sealaska tries to do on a daily basis. Make the best decision for our businesses, for our employees, and for our shareholders on a daily basis. And we do that within teams. And the team makes final decisions, and they do it working together. And they do it knowing that they are striving for a significant vision. We've talked about Sealaska's vision of ocean health. We've talked about the vision of the educational and career success of our shareholders. And when you have vision that are so important and you have teams working towards that vision, they're naturally curious. As a business, how do I improve the health of our oceans? As a community, how do I improve the health of our oceans? As an individual, how do I improve the health of our oceans? There's only one way: curiosity, learning, understanding, problem solving, and action. And with these values, those are the steps we take to create positive action and positive results for Sealaska. You also, you have to search for truth. You can't be stuck in frameworks that don't provide all the data, that don't provide the full picture. You have to always be searching for more information, again, that can help you make better decisions. So all these values work together to create what we call a problem-solving organization. And when you think of climate change, when you think of the health of our oceans, the vibrancy of our communities, the educational success of our youth, each one of these areas requires problem solving to start making a significant difference. And within that, the vision alone drives us to continue to create value, to maintain focus, and just keep going. one success may be celebrated for a short time, but we are on to the next initiative that will drive the next success for us almost immediately, because that's what keeps our teams moving forward. I think we can all utilize these values. We may not be able to see family. I hope just your sense of family values keep you connected. Call your relatives, say I love you, Ixichan, give them Christmas greetings, call your friends, elders, family. I think that alone is a value that can be helpful to us at this point in time. I want to quickly hit on this. I've hit on this at our annual meeting, but it's working. So we're going to continue to highlight it. And I'll put it in the context of our new investment in New England seafoods that Director London mentioned, the largest investment Sealaska has ever made. We started, just the base beginning of our work efforts is to build a supportive and positive work environment where people feel good about coming to work and they feel motivated. When you have that kind of environment, and when either an employee or a partner sees that at the core of that environment is a strong set of values, you attract new talent. We've hired some amazing employees this year that are really moving us forward, but we also attract businesses like Greg Drilling, like Aldrich Offshore Services, like New England Seafoods, and they are attracted to our values and our commitment to our employees and our commitment to ocean health and our commitment to our shareholders. And with this growing talent pool, we can work on solving ever more larger, complex, both local and global problems. And that's the stage we're at. We're just going to keep this going, continue to always focus on this positive work environment, keep our employees safe, make sure that they were safe from COVID, that they were comfortable, that we could adjust and adapt. From that starting point, you have a work force that is engaged throughout the year, continuing to move us forward, as you heard Jody say, in a very difficult year. Every single one of our businesses is making money, is creating income for us. Some are having the greatest years they've ever had. And it's a lot of it because of our leadership roadmap. So why does the leadership roadmap, why does our financial success matter? Our financial success matters because now we can invest into shareholder priorities. We can invest into our communities. We can invest in our youth. And our starting point in our investment in our shareholders is to build pride and respect. Pride and respect in anybody as an individual, pride and respect in from what traditional community they came from, pride and respect in their ability to learn their indigenous language, pride and respect that they can do well in school and that they're supported by organizations that want them to do well in school. Because what happens as with pride and respect as a starting point is that once that pride and respect is attained, you believe in something, and most importantly, you believe in yourself as an individual. And when you believe in yourself as an individual, you invest in yourself, and other people want to invest in yourself. And that creates the pathway for individuals to realize their full potential. SHI is working on this. Spruce Root is working on this. Our workforce development teams are working on this. Our career educational and training programs are working on this. Tlingit and Haida is working on this. All our local tribes, so many parents, aunts, and uncles. We can all be part of of this building pride and respect, not only in our youth, but in ourselves. We can get on this path of realizing our full potential. And once success is realized on this path, once success is felt and you know how you created that success, that's the turning point where you turn into tomorrow's leader. You've been invested in. You have something of great value at that point in time. And now you carry a responsibility to give back. And those leaders that see that responsibility, take on that responsibility, grow their own leadership capacity, and really this next step of having more of our shareholders, more of individuals in our communities, achieving success and giving back, it will only build towards community success. And so we're on this path. We want to bring our shareholders along. We'll continue to highlight it as often as possible, but want to hit that before I jump into our business highlights, because it's just critical. It's so important. The business success doesn't matter if we aren't creating pride and respect in our shareholders and creating a difference in their lives. So quickly to hit, because I want to get on to the agenda. Land, our timber harvesting and our carbon projects both created income this year. They stayed safe. They instituted really strong regulations that went above and beyond state regulations to keep their camps safe, to keep any transmission to rural communities out of the picture. And really proud of how this team worked to, again, create income and positive benefit to our shareholders. On the food side, we've been active investors. We had, prior to this year, built a combined platform of value-add seafood resellers in the Odyssey Orca Bay platform that is now a consolidated Orca Bay. That integration of those two entities is close to a 500 million revenue business all by itself. And they were busy this year. They were amazingly busy this year. COVID had a lot of people eating from home, and their high quality products that they sell to retail channels, from Costco to Trader Joe's to your local grocery store, was in high demand. And so again, they kept their employees safe, first and foremost. They're in food processing facilities, so they have to work hard to make sure that, again, they are going above and beyond for their employees and serving, again, that high quality seafood. And the New England investment, that is, just will be a game changer for us. It takes us international. It's a large investment, but they bring a set of values and a set of marketing expertise that we think will really help us change seafood, which is what we want to do. We want to help people eat more seafood, more healthy food, and through that process, we want to create sustainable seafood stocks throughout the globe, not just Alaska. On our water business, again, you may have heard this called the government contracting business, our environmental services business. They really have a marine focus now. They had some struggles early on with COVID. Contracts were delayed, canceled. They faced wildfires, but through all of these issues, again, they went back to their core values. They kept their employees safe. They continued to operate and provide a necessary service to their customers. And at the end of the year, they are going to create positive net income for Sealaska. And all three have done this by living their values and keeping their employees safe. Other things that I'd like to highlight, if you haven't seen, we jumped in early to provide COVID relief that really targeted the most in need. We know there were so many sources of COVID funding, from governments to tribes to local municipalities, for businesses and for individuals. we wanted our dollars, which were insignificant compared to government dollars, to again hit the most needy areas that possibly were getting not funded through CARES Act funding or other sources. 1.4 million to date. A lot of this went to tribal partners, and they put this to great use within our communities, and so proud to see the outcome of this work. We've highlighted this throughout the year. Some of you may have joined our Sealaska Zoom session on our language funds just a bit ago, but something we're really proud of, mainly because it was the #2 shareholder priority. Language revitalization was. SHI, we know, has been working in this area for years, creating great progress. Language learners, UAS, TNH, advanced learners, elders have been working on this. We wanted to come in and just support those programs and individuals that are making a difference. So we set aside $10 million because it was the #2 shareholder priority behind education that will allow us to fund $500,000 on an annual basis towards language projects. Excited, please learn more. We have a video on this. Go back and watch that video if you can. And this kind of wraps us up. Why do we focus on the business success? Why do we focus on the values? We think business success that follows utilizing our values towards a strong vision will keep this success growing. And the success that I'm highlighting is the fact that in a short time period, we have gone to under 10 million in total shareholder benefits to close to 24 million, possibly 28 million in 2020 of total shareholder benefits. The largest is dividends. In 2020, we provided 18.3 million in dividends to our shareholders, but there's so many other areas. We know about our strong commitment to SHI, the investment we place in our arts, cultures, education, language, our community economic development efforts. But to all those, one of my favorite areas is our scholarships. We provided the largest amount of scholarships in Sealaska's history to the most amount of students we've ever funded. Over 500 students received scholarships in 2020, individuals that are investing in themselves. Our elders payments, which go on top of the elders special dividends that are part of that 18.3 million, our memorial fund payments, our language fund, these are all new programs that have been placed forward for shareholder benefit from our shareholder voice because of the financial success we are creating. Again, we want this just to continue moving forward. We want you to help us do that. Continue to let us know what your priority benefit areas are. Continue to let us know your concerns. And I really wish you all a great Christmas holiday season and season greetings to you and your family. Gynakchish, Hala, Doiksum, Newsome.
Gynakchish, Anthony. Gynakchish for that report. Lots of great news in that presentation. A lot of hard work by your team has manifested into the success we can enjoy today. Merry Christmas, everyone. My name is Morgan Howard, Tequadi clan, originally from Yakutat. Grew up in Yakutat and Kodiak, and now I'm zooming to you from Kirkland, Washington. Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy holidays, happy Hanukkah. One of the great things that we can talk about that Anthony mentioned was Sealaska's investment into our languages. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit now about that. In 2019, Sealaska set up an endowment to support the revitalization of Tlingit, Haida, Somalia languages, Tlingit, Haida, and Tsimshian languages. And this next section, we've invited some folks to give you a language lesson. And we're going to hear from David Boxley, Ben Young, Marita Tolson, Katie Pittman, Ken Sutherland. And we're going to start it off with David Boxley, who is going to give you a language lesson in Shemaliak, the language of the Tsimshian people. David Boxley, are you there?
Oh, noon. Thank you, Morgan. Look a lu am goru in the will the ax good hux good awesome as a gion. Hibam lachati wayu lachki budi pero machlachatla di will wat go at a gua di will zago gion. Hashago named Oyax Sealaska will war you as a gion. At a Hashago named Oyax Sealaska will inam hail the dala dem samomum hasi at the demortka na lip al algarum. Thank you. I'm very happy to be with you all today. My name is David Boxley. I'm from Metlakatla, Alaska. I belong to the Wolf Clan of the Tsimshian people. I want to thank Sealaska for inviting me today and thank them for their commitment to our language and helping all of us with saving our languages. Hashago indem suwalaim sku limium sam aliach da kwasham. Sa dem goidix haliged mianum at a limi gui little amalimi dem hoy a haliged mianum. I'd like to teach you all a Somalia song today. This is one that is fairly simple and will be good for singing at Christmas time. I'm going to put the lyrics here in the chat so you can all follow along. It's the three first lines repeat, so it's not too hard. And so there's really just 2 lines of Somalia we're all going to learn today. So I'm going to go through and pronounce them for you, and then we'll sing them together. Omtka Qodam Dim Squishkum Christmasin. We used Christmas because it fit better with the tune, although there is a Somalic word for Christmas that I'll tell you at the end. Omtka Qodam Dim Squishkum Christmasin, which means we wish you a Merry Christmas. And the last line, Ada luam Qodam Suk Orton. Ada luam Qodam Suk Orton, and a Happy New Year. One more time. Omtka Qodam Dim Squishkum Christmasin. Ada luam Qodam Suk Orton. I can't hear you all, but I'm taking you at your words that you're trying along with me. That's all we can do with our languages is try our best. Why? I'm going to sing. I want to do it a couple times through. You guys join in as you can. Omtka Qodam Dim Squishkum Christmasin. Omtka Qodam Dim Squishkum Christmasin. Omtka Qodam Dim Squishkum Christmasin. Adalu am Qodam Suk Orton. Omtka Qodam Dim Squishkum Christmasin. Omtka Qodam Dim Squishkum Christmasin. Omtka Qodam Dim Squishkum Christmasin. Adalu am Qodam Suk Orton. I want to wish you all a very happy Haligeda Mianum. That's how we say it when we say it outside of a song. Haligeda Mianum at a Emma Suk Orton, and a Happy New Year to all of you. Zu al hatach gak orsak wa. Wilayu dim al am katni go. Zida amagigedem deselegedem. At a zida sipsepenum aselegedem. At a dip dim samot maselegedem. I know that though it's been a hard year, I know that it's going to be all right as long as we are kind to each other, we love each other, and we help each other out. I'd like to wish, I hope for you all that you'll take as much time as you can in your lives to help with our languages by trying to learn yourselves. It's a challenge, and though it isn't easy, I want everyone to remember that it belongs to you. It's your right to take it back, and you find the ways that you can learn it. And as we learn the benefits of the positive identity that comes from us knowing who we are and being able to express ourselves in our own languages, will really help our people. So, Merry Christmas to you all, a Happy New Year, and thank you all for listening.
Thank you, David. Or Toyok Sutnun.
And
We do appreciate your words of in your language, but also your words to inspire us. It's the committed learners like yourself, the teachers, that give folks like me inspiration to keep working and going down this path. I do think, as a director of Sealaska, you know, my grandchildren and great-grandchildren will ask, you know, what part did I play in helping to keep our languages alive? So it means a lot to me. Now let's move from Shemaliak to Hotkil. Let's check in with Ben Young and Marie Olson. I think they're joined by some of the kids from Ben's Immersion Preschool. Let's find out. Ben, are you there?
Tlingit. Singai lao shlang at alasi we hansina git alemu ichen dalang gui kudang las in dalang skatadang kasam. Hansina git alung dalang hansina git alung hadet dalang sudasam. Anis Leo, Anis Emily, Anis Desmond, Anis Healingai, Anis Delight. Atalasi, with Aji greeting, holiday greeting, the Lunks Katadang Kasam. Hello guys, this is Hansinag, this is Hansinag here. And this is the half of my afternoon kids. I have some in the morning, we have some in the afternoon, and this is our afternoon kids. Today we're going to teach you a holiday greeting, and it means happiness to you all. Similar to what Davey had just taught you folks. We say it like this though, and maybe the camera could pick it up, maybe not, but this is what we say. Dalam. Gui, Gudam, Las. That means happiness to you all. Dalam, Gui, Gudam, Las. Listen to? Hausen. Dalam, Gui, Gudam, Las. We'll sing the first verse of We wish you a Merry Christmas to you folks, and then hopefully it'll sink in. I'll also write it in the chat, and then include a few song recordings, a link to some song recordings, so shareholders can also enjoy it from their homes anytime they'd like. It was actually sung by Master Elvis. Huktelang Ishki? Hi, Swanson Stem Hornet. Dalam gui gudang las, dalam gui gudang las, dalam gui gudang las, iskenta da hautla gudlaga. At alas, Sealaska shareholders hot kling istie konast gin dalam Sudan kasang. Before we get going, I just wanted to offer a little bit of words of inspiration. As I mentioned at one of our last meetings, knowing something doesn't change your life, but doing something does. That's one of my favorite quotes. And this whole thing, having a center, having a immersion program, this was nothing but a pipe, well, we thought pie in the sky pipe dream a few years ago. Feel free to reach as far as you can in your language endeavors, because where there's a will, there's a way. Demana gan king u, git squad de languig in la sang, de languig udang las. Hawa u hin maksut u. Hawa. Helen, Delilah V, Emily, Desmond, Leo, Blonde, Kil Lau. How u.
Hawa, Kunishis, thank you all for teaching us language. Good to see you all. Thank you, Ben. That was awesome. It's great to see the young faces. Oh, yeah, still got a couple there. We should cut back to that shot. Good to see everybody there. We really appreciate the work of Ben and all those keeping our languages alive. Next up, we have Tlingit, and I think I see Katie Pittman and a couple of young people to join her for our next language lesson. How y'all doing?
Good, Ganesh Morgan. It's so good to see some of our communities healthy and being able to learn in person. I'm here with my children. In Juneau, we're doing distance learning. I just like to start off by introducing myself. Kaske Aya, Shungu Katie Nahatsiti, Jilkat Kwan.
Ach ish has oesine di chasiti, ach sani chas deshitan. Kaske yechatusa,
Kakla Yuchatusa. And these are my two daughters. UPS is at the door. They're trying to get in on the Tlingit action. Aurora and I get to participate in the Tlingit Cultural Language and Literacy program here in Juneau. And Tria is learning Tlingit through camps with Gold Belt, Sealaska, and through the high school that's offering some programs. And we like to just share a couple phrases that stood out that we can use regularly when we see each other on Zooms or out shopping in the community. I don't know, did you want to try yours or do you want me to do your phrases? All right. Aurora had picked Siguwu Kiswis Ka Siguwu Yis Tauk, which is Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And those are cards that we made in our TCLO program last year. And we use them pretty regularly. So we're just gonna practice Siguwu Kiswis. Siguwu Kiswis.
Siguwu Kiswis.
Yeah, and adding in ka and Siguwu Yis Tauk.
Siguwu Yis Tauk.
Yeah, and we're hoping that this new year does bring more health and healing in our communities as we start to look through to kind of some healthy changes coming to our community here in Juneau and having more kids back in the building for in-person learning. Tria picked out one of her favorite phrases from the SHI greetings, and she'd like to share that now.
It means always may it be joyful. And I thought it was nice to add because with a lot of the negativity that 2020 brought, to go around to someone and make their day better, I think it would be nice.
Can you try that so I can practice it?
Klauch.
Klauch.
Siguwu.
Siguwu.
Yagich.
Yagich.
Nach.
Nach.
Sati.
Sati.
Okay.
Try saying it all together. That one was new to me.
Klauch. Siguwu. Yagich. Nach. Sati.
All right, thank you. And thanks again for sharing all of our different language teachers from the communities. We have benefited from being here in Juneau, surrounded by so many strong language teachers and have shared with us, including King Gacy, who's still near and dear to our heart, and provided us the strength to try something new like this today and to be a part of the holiday party. Gunesh Chish.
Goodness cheese. Goodness cheese. Now let me see how I'm doing here. Tria, you can help me to see how I'm doing. Klak seguwu nagi nach city.
Very close. That's super close. Okay, so with the beginning word, it has a lot of odd phrases that you would want to use. So, klach,
Klak
siguwu,
seguwu
yagich,
yakich
nach,
nach
city.
city.
Perfect.
Goodness cheese. Goodness cheese. Wow, great. Thank you so much for taking time out to teach us and to see us having you learn. You are our learners, and you're also our teachers. Very powerful combination. Merry Christmas to all of you. Yeah.
Thank you.
I wanted to thank everyone who joined us today for our language lessons. Thank you to all the individuals and families throughout the region. There's a lot of language teachers out there right now. It's really, I think it's gaining momentum, and at Sealaska, we want to do nothing but support the efforts. When Sealaska set up the endowment, it was absolutely something that we all felt so strongly about. It was just getting to a place where we could do these types of things. And now we're getting to that place where we can really provide the support to all of the things that we care about so dearly. So last week even, we had Sealaska and Tlingit and Haida partner to bring you a Zoom webinar on some of that language revitalization efforts. And we have more resources. So if you want to begin your language journey, just check out sealaska.com. It's a lot of work, but I can tell you, it's also very, it's a very good feeling too, to learn the language of to learn our language, the language I grew up with, hearing from my grandparents. Now I want to give a brief introduction to the next person to take you on our Christmas party journey. Director Barbara Cadente Nelson. Take it away, Barbara. I can see her.
Hi, I'm here.
And now I can hear her.
Yeah, thanks. It took a little while to get my mic on, and here I am from wintry Occoquan in Juneau, Alaska. Thank all of you for joining us today. It really means a lot to us. As it was said, my name is Barbara Cadente Nelson. I have the privilege of serving you as a Sealaska director and a trustee of Sealaska Heritage Institute, and I'm chairperson of Sealaska Relations Committee. I'm a brown bear, Tequaidi. My clan house is in Shanakit, Hootsit, Angoon. My Tlingit names are Eshkuka, Ka Yanasach. My father, Andres Cadiente Sr., and grandfather's people are of the Ilocano and the Tlingit, and my outer shell are the Deishita and the Beaver clan. Some of you, or many of you, may know my mother, Irene Hunter Cadiente. Mom is 93 years old, and we are still blessed to have her among us. I'm wearing some earrings that she gifted me last Christmas. I don't think you can see them. They're brown bears with a little Christmas jingle. They were made by brown bear Charlotte McConnell. And it's when I put these on, I feel close to them. I know you, like me, are missing our closeness with those that are our family, our loved ones. My husband, Norval Nelson, and our 4 children, Noreen, Norval, Nicholas, Nemasia, our 17 grandchildren, and the entire Cadiente clan, and my siblings, my mother, the Nelson clan, as well as the Tequaidi clan, wish each of you a well and comforted time in this time of the winter and the challenges created by this pandemic. Winter is the darkest time of the year, and I want to encourage each of you that it is in the darkness that we are light for each other. May you light a candle to remember those you cannot be with this season, and for those who have gone ahead of us to their eternal home. A heartfelt Merry Christmas to each of you. This is also a timely moment to remember those who have served their family, their community, their clan, and their country, our esteemed veterans. As a people, we're proud of the fact that Alaska Natives serve at higher rates in the military than any other ethnic group in this country. I have 2 grandsons and a great nephew who are serving today. And I have brothers and other family members who have served as well. And we are one family, so rather you may know them by name, we all know that we're represented and taking care of our homeland. We're proud of all veterans who have served our country in all branches of the United States Uniformed Services. If you're a veteran of the U.S. Uniformed Services, please let us at Sealaska know. We've added a new feature to mysealaska.com that allows shareholders to self-identify as a veteran. The Sealaska veterans who self-identify by this Friday, day after tomorrow, December 18th, 2020, will be automatically entered in to win a $250 early bird cash prize. And Sealaska veterans who self-identify by December 31st, 2020, will be automatically entered to win one of 4 $100 cash prizes. Before I turn it over to the next person, I just want to say too that my brother-in-law, Clarence Butchlighty, is a Vietnam veteran, and my sister Andrea, as do all family members, are counted in as the representatives of those that have served their country well. And their anniversary is tomorrow, 52 years, 53 years, I think. So happy anniversary, Andrea and Butch. Many of you know Shyla Germain from Sealaska Shareholder Relations Department. I'd like to call on Shyla now to provide us a video walkthrough of mysealaska.com and to highlight the new veterans feature. Shyla is also our fashion extraordinaire, a touch of class among us, I'd like to say. Shyla, it's all yours.
Thank you, Barbara. That was very sweet. I'd just like to say hello to everybody and thank you for joining today. It's very near and dear to our hearts that we're not able to be face-to-face with our shareholders. And on behalf of the shareholder relations team and the IT team who serve our shareholders daily, we'd just like to wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of our hearts and hope that you all are staying healthy and happy and safe at home. Thank you.
Hello, welcome to mysealaska.com, our Sealaska shareholder portal. Today I'll be giving a brief overview on how to utilize some of the useful features within MySeaLaska. We will review the About Me section of your profile, which includes where to find your 1099s, past payments, update your address and banking info, obtain verification letters, input veteran status, and MySeaLaska messaging. If you have not done so already, please register online at mysealaska.com. Once you have registered and logged into your profile, click on About Me. Here, you're going to see an overview of your profile, your shareholder number, your current mailing address and email address, banking information if you have any. Here we've also added a new feature, which is a veteran status feature. So if you've served and you are a vet, go ahead and log in and click on Yes, I'm a vet, and you'll get the green check mark. We also have a new option of Go Green. So if you choose to save paper and trees and you would like to go green, here's a list of the items that you will not be receiving if you choose to go green. Once you have clicked on it, you'll get the notification that you have chosen to go green. You can also view your certificates. You will be able to see what type of shares you own and if you have a current stock will on file. You can view your payments. We will show you a history of the last 5 years of your payments. The same for 1099s. We'll show you the last 1099s. You're able to print those 1099s out for the last 5 years. If you need any of those, you're able to obtain those from your My Sealaska profile. Verification letters. You can also generate and output an income verification letter or a shareholder verification letter. For an income verification, whichever years you may need, you'll just input the start year and the end year, click on Create Income Verification Letter. That will be generated and you can email or print and send to whomever you need. We've recently added a family history page. You can come in and input your tribe, and you can fill it out to the best of your knowledge, and come in and make changes at any time if you find anything out differently. In the Change My Information section, you're able to do change direct deposits, change address, change phone number, change email, and you can change your password to your My Sealaska profile. Also, the last part of the About Me section is the Send Us a Message. You can send Shareholder Relations a message anytime that you choose to. We will reply to you within 24 to 48 business hours, and we will keep a status or record of the messages that you've sent if you need to go back and review any information or steps that have been instructed. And that concludes our overview of the About Me section of mysealaska.com. Please tune in the near future to learn more about mysealaska.com. If you have any questions, please log in and send us a message. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Shyla. Up next is Sealaska Director Nicole Hollingstead, and I don't think we should let her go without her singing us a Christmas carol either. It's all yours, Nicole.
Thank you so much, Barbara. And thank you, Shyla, for that walk through the My Sealaska portal. It's such an amazing tool for shareholders to stay in touch with their corporation. I just want to say a huge thank you to all of the shareholders who are online and joining us today. We have, I believe, at this point, possibly over 1,000 viewers joining us today. Thank you, thank you. We can't be together in person, but I'm giving all of you a big hug to thank you for being with us today. I'm Nicole Hollingstead. I was elected to Sealaska's board 3 years ago. Chakla yuchat dorsau. Yech ayachat, tachtintan nachat seti, sakwedi yadi ayachat, Norwegian yadi ayachat. I was born and raised in Petersburg. I'm currently in Anchorage, and today I'm really excited because I get to be Auntie Claus. So my role here is to, first of all, encourage all of you to please visit Sealaska's Facebook and Instagram pages to see our listing of where you can shop native and shop local as you continue your Christmas shopping. So be sure to check that out. Lots of great artists, great vendors supporting our communities and supporting our people. And my role next is to announce some of our prize winners. We have 5 cash prizes for those of you who joined by webinar today. And Sealaska does understand that not everybody is able to join a virtual session or might not even have been able to join us today at this time. So in addition to the prizes that I have the privilege of announcing, There will also be a selection of 100 shareholders from across the entire shareholder base who will win a $200 prize. So be sure to check back on My Sealaska. I believe that prize winning list will also be posted here, but keep your eyes open in case you might happen to be a winner, or if you know somebody who couldn't be with us today. So we see the list here. It has a lot of names, and it'll be available for people to go check out and see if they are a cash prize winner, but unable to be with us today. And Sealaska understands that many families and many of our communities have been hit by COVID-19. We have family members, and it's created hardships throughout some of our communities. And we do hope that in some small way, Sealaska is able to help. So I will now read off the list of our top prize winners for today for joining this webinar. So our first cash prize is for $500, and that winner, and you should all, I believe, receive some notification on this. $500 winner is Paul Edward Christomos. So very appropriate name for our Christmas holiday virtual get together. Congratulations, Paul Edward Christomos. Our next prize is $750,000, or I'm sorry, it's $750, but I just saw a message that we have 1,000 viewers. So got a little excited there and almost gave away a huge prize. So the winner of our $750 prize is Raymond Michael Webster. Congratulations. Our next prize is $1,000, and that winner is Janine Kamaria Gray. And then we have two more prizes. The next one is for $1,250. So the winner of $1,250 is Skylar Christopherson Makua. Skylar Christopherson Makua. So congratulations. And then finally, for today, among our virtual viewers, the top cash prize of $1,500 goes to Julie Ann Knudsen. We've got people celebrating on screen here. Julie Ann Knudsen, top prize. So again, thank you from the bottom of our hearts for joining with us today. While we can't be joining with one another in person, it's wonderful to have the connection and know that over 1,000 of us now are all listening and enjoying the information about Sealaska and enjoying each other as we go into the holidays. So from here, I will turn it over to the person who will, I believe, close out our session. And I think this might possibly be a Christmas miracle. We've got a shareholder session that is going to be concluding, I think, a little ahead of time. I'll turn it over now to Albert Kukesh.
Hi, thank you, Nicole. Very, very good. I appreciate that. And I want to take just a minute to thank everybody who helped put this together. I want to thank the directors that were online and made presentations today. Tate London, of course, Jody Mitchell, Anthony Mallott, our president, Morgan Howard, Barbara Cadian Nelson, and Nicole Hollingstead. But I also want to thank Shyla, who helped put this together, the last part together, and to other people who were online to help make his presentations available today. And there are many people behind the scenes who we couldn't do it without. People like Dixie Hutchinson and Matt Carl. Thank you to them and to other staff members who showed up and made this happen. It's a reality. Because of COVID-19, this is a different year. We couldn't get together, and we understand that. We all understand that. Next year is going to be different. We hope because of the vaccine, we see a light at the end of a tunnel, and hopefully we'll be able to get together next year. So again, on behalf of our chair, Mr. Joseph Nelson, our vice chair, Jody Mitchell, our board of directors, thank you for joining us today. You know, we're not a people of small families. We can go all over Southeast Alaska and other places and find relatives and seek out relatives and have family members. We're not small families, so it's especially hard for us during this holiday season to not get together, to not see each other, to not hug each other. And that's sad for us. For example, in Angoon, for over 100 years, we've had a community gathering, 100 plus years actually. We'd had a community gathering in Angoon at our A&B Hall, and it started a long time ago at a little A&B Hall on the beach, and it continued to up to last year. And this is the first year we're not going to be able to really have it at all. It just bothers and hurts a lot of us, and we're so sad about it. Those are the kind of things that we have to face, so that's the reality. But I want to say, let us during this year, let's not share the virus, let's share love. So Merry Christmas to all of you. Have a happy and safe New Year. And thank you again for joining us. Congratulations to those who won prizes today. But again, thank you for those of you who are shareholders, over 1,000 of you who joined us today. It was wonderful, and we appreciate you. And thank you, thank you, thank you.